Chapter 17. The Tipping Point. The forest was eerily quiet as the trio approached the facility's entrance, the night thick with tension. Every step felt amplified, the crunch of leaves and twigs underfoot, an unwelcome reminder of how close they were to enemy territory. Michael led the way, his senses honed to every sound, every shadow that shifted in the moonlight. Overhead, the faint hum of drones patrolling the perimeter added to the oppressive atmosphere, a constant reminder that any misstep could mean discovery. Samira crouched behind him, her tablet glowing faintly as she monitored the drones' disrupted patrols. The virus she had uploaded earlier to scramble their routes was working, for now. Gabriel brought up the rear, his weapon drawn, his gaze flicking between the treetops and the path ahead. The explosion at the communications array had bought them time, but they all knew it was only a matter of minutes before Nemesis's forces regrouped and their window closed. "We're clear to move," Samira whispered, her voice barely audible over the faint rustling of leaves. She pointed toward a narrow maintenance entrance on the eastern side of the facility. "That's our way in. It'll take us directly to the lower levels." Michael nodded, signaling for Gabriel to cover their flank. They moved swiftly, sticking to the shadows as they crossed the open ground to the entrance. The facility loomed above them, its stark metal exterior lit by harsh floodlights that cast long, menacing shadows. Samira worked quickly to bypass the security lock, her fingers flying over the tablet's interface. With a soft click, the door hissed open, revealing a dimly lit corridor. "Let's move," Michael said, stepping inside. The air was cool and sterile, the faint hum of machinery echoing off the metal walls. The corridor stretched ahead, lined with pipes and exposed wiring, a stark contrast to the dense forest outside. As they descended deeper into the facility, the tension only grew. Michael's grip on his weapon tightened with every step, his eyes scanning for any signs of movement. The faint flicker of fluorescent lights cast unsettling shadows along the walls, adding to the oppressive atmosphere. Every creak of metal, every distant clank, set his nerves on edge. Gabriel broke the silence, his voice low. "We're sitting ducks down here. If they catch us in one of these corridors—" "They won't," Michael said firmly, though the weight of the risk wasn't lost on him. "Stay sharp." They reached a junction where Samira paused to check her tablet. "The main server room is 2 levels down. We'll need to take the freight elevator. It's the only way to access the lower levels." Michael frowned. "Freight elevators mean cameras. Cameras mean they'll know we're coming." Samira nodded. "I can loop the feed temporarily, but it won't hold for long. We'll need to be fast." "Do it," Michael said, motioning for Gabriel to take point as they moved toward the elevator. The doors opened with a faint groan, revealing a spacious but utilitarian interior. Samira connected her tablet to the control panel, initiating the loop as the elevator began its descent. The ride down was tense, the silence broken only by the faint whir of the elevator's mechanics. Gabriel shifted his weight, his unease palpable. "This feels too easy," he muttered. "Where are the guards?" "They're regrouping," Michael said, though he shared Gabriel's apprehension. "The explosion threw them off, but it won't last." When the elevator doors slid open, they were met with a starkly different scene. The lower level was a hive of activity, the hum of servers and the glow of monitors filling the expansive room. Rows of equipment stretched as far as the eye could see, punctuated by clusters of technicians working at their stations. Samira's eyes widened as she took in the scale of the operation. "This isn't just a server room, it's a control hub." Michael's jaw tightened. Then we're in the right place. Gabriel scanned the room, his grip on his weapon tightening. "What's the plan? We can't take all of them head on." Samira pulled up the facility's schematic on her tablet. "The main control terminal is on the far side of the room. If we can access it, I can upload the virus directly into their network. It'll take everything offline." Michael nodded. "We'll create a distraction. Gabriel, take out the power relay on the east wall. It'll buy us some chaos. Samira, you're with me. Once Gabriel hits the relay, we move. Gabriel smirked faintly. Finally, something I'm good at. As Gabriel slipped away toward the east wall, Michael and Samira moved along the perimeter, staying low to avoid detection. The technicians remained engrossed in their work, oblivious to the intruders in their midst. When Gabriel reached the relay, he signaled to Michael, then placed a small explosive charge against the panel. The explosion was contained but effective, plunging the room into darkness as alarms blared. Chaos erupted as technicians scrambled to assess the damage, their voices overlapping in confusion. Taking advantage of the commotion, Michael and Samira darted toward the main terminal. Samira connected her tablet to the terminal, her fingers moving with practiced speed. I'm in. Initiating the upload now. Michael stood guard, his weapon trained on the panicked technicians. His heart pounded as the progress bar on Samira's screen crept forward. How long? 2 minutes, she said, her voice steady despite the urgency. The sound of approaching footsteps sent a jolt of adrenaline through Michael. He turned to see a squad of Nemesis operatives entering the room, their weapons drawn. They're here, he said, firing a warning shot to slow their advance. Samira didn't look up. I need more time. Gabriel rejoined them, sliding into cover beside Michael. They're coming from the west, too. We're boxed in. Michael gritted his teeth, firing at the advancing operatives. Hold them off. We can't let them stop the upload. The next 2 minutes felt like an eternity. Bullets ricocheted off the server racks, sparks flying as the firefight intensified. Gabriel took down 2 operatives with precise shots, while Michael provided covering fire. Samira remained focused, her hands steady as she guided the virus into the network. It's done, she said finally, disconnecting her tablet. The room's monitors flickered and died, the hum of the servers fading into silence. Michael signaled for a retreat. Move! We're done here. The trio fought their way back to the elevator, the chaos of the disabled network buying them precious seconds. As the doors closed, Gabriel let out a breathless laugh. We actually did it. Michael's expression remained grim. It's not over yet. Carmichael will know we're coming for her now. As the elevator ascended, the weight of their victory mingled with the looming threat of what was to come. For now, they had dealt a significant blow to Nemesis, but the battle was far from over.